Hi 1302 students, I wanted to just briefly walk you through how to write body paragraphs and conclusions for your essays. Hopefully you've looked at how to write introductions in that PowerPoint. But today we're going to talk about the body paragraphs, and those are kind of the meat of your essay. So you have your introduction, your body paragraphs, then your conclusions. So how do you write a body paragraph? Well, what makes a paragraph a paragraph? Some students don't know this. So a paragraph is devoted to one idea. When you write about a new idea, you indent and you begin a new paragraph. So each idea in your typical college essay is about 5 to 7 sentences, and I'm going to show you if you're stuck or you don't know how to approach a body paragraph. Here's a little technique I learned that could help you as well. I want you to think of the state of Texas. We're going to take that acronym TEXAS and break it down to write a body paragraph. T is for topic sentence. E is for explain. You want to explain that topic. X is for example. A is for analyze. S is for summarize. So let's talk about this. If you're writing a topic sentence, the first sentence in that body paragraph, introduce what the topic is to the reader. Just give them a general sense of what this paragraph will be about. So many students skip over this. But devote an entire sentence to what this paragraph, what the reader will be reading in this paragraph. That's your topic sentence. Explain. Explain what you mean by this topic sentence. If you need to include a little bit more detail, maybe you can't fit everything into one sentence, well, E is for explain, the E in Texas. And I messed up on the PowerPoint here, so just listen to what I have to say. Don't necessarily read this part here. But the X in Texas is for example. As humans, we're geared to better understand something, to grasp something, to get our heads around something more easily if we have an example of whatever it is the writer's talking about. So give an example of this topic that you've laid out. And then analyze it. Ask yourself the question, so what? Why does this topic even matter? How does it matter? Answer those questions. Break it down for the reader and interpret it. That's analyze, the A in Texas. And finally, S is summarize. Go ahead and summarize that paragraph that you've just written in a sentence and transition to your next paragraph. All right, so this says group work. I normally assign this in a classroom, but you can do this on your own. If you want to pause the video, grab a pen and paper. We're going to practice writing a body paragraph. So I want you to write a body paragraph about a celebrity that you know something about. Any celebrity. I figured you would know something about someone who's famous. It could be an athlete. It could be someone on TV. It could be an actor, an actress. It could be a singer, Instagram influencer. I'm not sure. Just someone well-known or famous. Write a body paragraph about them. Introduce them in the topic sentence. Explain a little bit more about them, give an example of their work, analyze that work. How does this work matter? Why does it matter? Take a couple of sentences to do that and then summarize the paragraph. After you've done that, here's an example of a body paragraph, which I'm not going to read it all to you, but you can pause the video or look at the PowerPoint on Canvas and take a look at this. But we've got the topic sentence in red, an explanation in turquoise, an example of it in blue, and then we analyze it in orange. That's a couple sentences. And then summarize it in white. So if we just look at the topic, Andy Warhol was more than a celebrity artist, semicolon, he was a prophet. So we know that this paragraph is going to be about Andy Warhol being a celebrity artist who was also a prophet. He could see into the future. And then we explain that, give an example of how he was a prophet. We analyze what that means that he was a prophet. What does that mean for society or for art or whatever tack the writer decided to take with this. And then summarize the paragraph in S. So those are body paragraphs. Let's talk briefly about conclusions. A conclusion is not just a summary of points you've made. You should leave your reader with a very definitive impression of what it is you've just written about. So if you think back to introductions, that's a hook, background information and thesis statement, right? So you're going from something very general to something very specific, which is your thesis. Conclusions are kind of the opposite of that. So if you think of the introduction as kind of an upside down triangle, think of a conclusion as kind of a right side up triangle. You're going from something very specific to something very big. So a conclusion begins with restating your thesis. So in conclusion, comma, restate that thesis, not word for word how you have it in the introduction, reword it a little bit. Then you summarize the main points from your body paragraphs in a couple of sentences, and then you provide what I call a think statement. So that's the last sentence or two of your essay. Think big. Go big or go home on this one. So ask yourself, so what? Why did I write this paper? What does it mean for society, for the future? Make a prediction, offer a solution, or if you're writing a persuasive or argumentative or position essay, you might offer a call to action, which is just information for how the reader can get involved, whatever it is you're writing about. But make a point. Draw a conclusion. Don't shy away from controversy or being provocative, if need be. But make an impression on your reader. If I meet you on the street 15 years from now, I want to be able to remember that essay you wrote for 1302. So conclusions are important. They're just as important as your introduction and your body paragraphs. Make them count. So just to kind of visualize this and to recap it, in an introduction, you're going from the forest, something very big, something very general, to something very specific, your thesis statement. You're to a single tree. So forest to tree. Your conclusion, you're going from a tree, which is your restated thesis, to something very big and grand, and what does this mean for life kind of thing. So you're going from a tree to a forest, something specific to general. And finally, you can pause this if you want, or look at the paragraph, look at the PowerPoint on Canvas. Here's an example of a conclusion. And this essay was written by someone who had very firm feelings about the sitcom Friends from the 90s and how the character Ross didn't deserve the character Rachel. So we've got our restated thesis there in red, our body paragraphs, summaries in blue, and then we offer a think statement that answers the question, so what? What does this mean? Why did you waste my time writing this? In green. And let's go ahead and take a look at the restated thesis in red and then the think statement there in green. So the restated thesis is, although viewers always expected Ross and Rachel to reunite at the end of the series, the fact remains that Ross didn't deserve Rachel as a partner. Now that's a great thesis statement, right? Someone could argue against that. This reader takes a position, and now they're restating it. So that's the restated thesis. Let's go down here to the think statement. This conclusion is especially apparent after viewing the show more than 10 years after the final episode aired and having a collective better understanding of women's rights and domestic abuse in relationships. Whoa, women's rights? Domestic abuse? What does that have to do with Friends? See? The writer did what they're supposed to do. They drew their own conclusion. They made connection to real world problems. And these are kind of fraught with controversy too, right? Women's rights, domestic abuse. So do that in your writing. I always connect to a higher purpose. Why am I writing this? What does this mean for society, for the world? And don't shy away from controversy or taking a position on something, even if it's not a popular position to have. Okay, if you guys have any questions about body paragraphs or conclusions or introductions even, just feel free to email me and we can set up a Zoom office hours thing where we can talk about it one-on-one, or we can even chat through Canvas if you'd like. But that's it. So congratulations on making it through your first week of 1302. We got 4 more to go. This week is a little lighter, I think, in terms of reading. So that should make you happy. Hope you guys have a great week. I will talk to you soon.